Alrighty, welcome to this tutorial that I'm making right now. Great intro, good job, Gabe. Alright, so you want to stream Guitar Hero 3 on Twitch? Well, here's some things you ought to know. This is going to be a very quick crash course, wasting no time. We're going to get right into these steps that are in the description with links. Alright, first step, go to this website. It is open broadcaster software. It is what you're going to use to stream/record. It does both. So go ahead and click this download button on whichever operating system you have, and double-click the executable, hit next a bunch of times until it's installed. Alright, cool. Moving on. Start up the software. I assume you'll know how to do that. If you don't, there's other guides out there for you. This one's not going to go into it. Okay, let's actually remove this. Don't look at me, I'm hideous. Okay, so you're going to see something like this. You'll have just a blank scene here. And what this scene is basically is it is just a group of video sources that are cropped and they're moved around to look however you want them to look. You can basically duplicate this one and make it a little different and switch between them, and then it looks like you're just moving one thing. So if you have a very specific organization of things like certain text or whatever, you can do that. But we're going to go ahead and get into the hands-on section. Go ahead and click this plus button or just right-click and hit add. And go to video capture device. You can make a new one, but I'm going to add existing because if you're using just one webcam, this will contradict the last one. So I'm just going to do this. Ah, I'm hideous. Haha, funny joke. Okay, moving on. So there's my webcam. And once again, if you're playing Guitar Hero, you'll want to be kind of off to the side, maybe back up a little bit so they can see the whole thing. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to your settings here, and you're going to go ahead and look down this list. Stream. Get your Twitch stuff set up. I'm not going to show you how to do that. That's for another video. This video will be years long if I explain every little bit. Output. I use advanced. You can hit simple and just set your bitrate according to your upload speed, and it'll automatically decide a bunch of other stuff for you. This is your recording. This is separate from streaming. You can make it however large you want it. And it just kind of works. I have mine set very custom. This is just because my internet speed is absolute garbage and I can only stream at 480p. And my buffer size can't be that big because I don't have a lot to work with, so I have to be at top bitrate at all times. But once again, these numbers you probably shouldn't copy unless your internet speed is just as bad as mine. Okay, moving on. Audio. You want to just make sure that your desktop audio device is set to what you actually hear in your headphones. And you want to make sure your mic right here is set to whatever device you're talking into. Whether that be your condenser mic, your headset, whatever it is you want your listeners to hear. Video. This is your resolution. If you're streaming in 1080p, you want this set to 1080. If you want it set to just whatever you want it set to. You can set your output scaled like this is what you want it to actually be, and you can set this to any thing you want, 480p, 720p, etc. And this is your frame rate. If you can stand 60, if you have the internet for it, and once again, whether or not you can stream 60 FPS or not is totally based on your internet speed and your CPU speed and your computer and a bunch of other factors. I'm not going to go into all that stuff in this video. That's for a more general topic video. This is specifically how to do Guitar Hero, so once you decide which one of these you want, I recommend 60 if you can do it, but if you can't, 30 is fine. That's what I stream in because I don't have good internet speed. Again, hotkeys, if you set start and stop streaming to the same key, it's a toggle. Good thing to know. And when you're done, you just hit apply and OK, or apply. And I think maybe, I don't know, we'll see. This page should never have to touch, to be honest. And we're back. So next thing you want to do is the second thing on this list, just getting GH working. Go to this website here, second link, which is this thing right here called 3D Analyze. This picture will pop up after a second. You click it, and it will download this executable. So just download it, install it, and use it. And I will show you how to do that now. You go ahead and you start it up. That probably went black for you for a second, maybe. I don't know. So here you go. You select GH3.exe. You'll have to find it. You can either guess based on what you see up here, or just, yeah, I have a whole other video on other stuff like this, I think. So select it, and you hit run. But here's the thing, what you want to do, and I recommend doing this to prevent any kind of frame skipping, hit force windowed mode. Yeah, that's literally it, just force windowed mode. So when you start up the game, it will look something crazy like this. It is starting up. Give it a moment. See how that's not full screen? You can make it full screen if you want it to be windowed borderless, but here's the thing. I don't know why. This really doesn't make any sense, but I find that whenever it's windowed like this, I don't have as many frame skipping like issues. Like, it doesn't mess up as much. It just kind of works better. And here's the thing. I also have to run a different software with this personally called GH3 to frame limit this down to a decent frame rate, or else I get timing issues with my guitar. Like, I'll play a note and then, like, if I miss, the guitar track will keep playing, or sometimes I'll miss and it'll stop playing, and then when I pick up the notes, the guitar track doesn't start playing again. So that's another issue to be aware of if you have that issue. I have a whole nother video on that, right? I'll call it right here. You can click on that and see that video. So that works. But yeah, so you just basically run this other software. I'm going to do that. I have a batch file that I've made for me personally that'll start both of them at the same time. So basically what you want to do is you want to start up the game. And I start both of them at the same time. And you'll see this. And it'll start running. And I don't have a guitar, so I'm just going to use keyboard controls just for the sake of actually showing you what I'm doing. It won't change it, I promise. And that little number in the top left corner is my frame rate. And I have it limited to double my monitor's refresh rate. So basically what you want to do is, let's see, expert. I just play slow ride. Wait for it to load. And what we want to do is we basically want to take this outline here. You can't see my mouse, but if you see just the general shape there, we want to mask that, is what it's called. And to do that, we go back to our OBS window, we right-click and hit Add, and then we go to what I use is window capture. And I am going to make a new one, set it to capture this window. It automatically detected it, but if it doesn't, you can go down this list and find it. Don't capture cursor. And here's the thing, I can now drag this around on this window. Most people leave it default scale and they put it in the corner here. And then what you can do is you right-click on this and hit properties. Or not properties, I'm silly. Right-click on it and hit filters. Up here, you right-click, hit add, go to image mask / blend. What that'll do is it'll allow you to pick an image, which I will put in the description, a download link. For now, it's right here on my desktop. See what that does? It basically cuts out just this specific part. So you shouldn't have to edit anything. This should just work. So hit close, and now you see that I can just drag this wherever I want. I can resize it as much as I want. And another cool trick, if you hold the Alt key and then mess with one of these, you can crop it. So once again, a lot of things you can do. You can make it whatever size you want. If you hold down Control, you can stretch, or not Control, if you hold down Shift, you can stretch it. So if you're a weirdo and want to do that. Once again, all of these options are also available in this menu, I believe. So if you want to go to Transform and reset it, you can reset it to its default. I usually just put it in the corner like this. And I make it a little bigger because I run a very low res stream. But I'm not going to because it's in 1080p right now. Once again, your audio should automatically be capturing down here, and I have my mic set to where it's about the proper volume anyway, but you may have to fiddle with those two settings down there to get your volumes to sound good. I recommend recording a few seconds of gameplay, watching it, seeing what you can fiddle with, going back and forth. It's a little bit rough, but you have to listen to the game audio while you play, so there's no real way you can listen to both at the same time. So yeah, there's that. So let's basically just do a fun thing here. And what we'll do is we'll make another one of these, another window capture. We'll make it the same one, and we'll put it on top. We will hit the eyeball next to the old one to make it go away. And what we want to do is we want to make it to where when we're not in game, you can read the text. So we'll go back to main menu, go to quick play, go to expert, and now we'll switch back to GH3. Oopsie. Or not GH3, to OBS, and we will crop, as I said earlier, to match the margins here. Oopsie. And then we can just put it over to the side. And you can make it as big or as small as you want. Like, I'll make it about that size just so it's out of the way. And here's another fun thing you can do, is you can go to settings here in OBS, go to your hotkeys, go to this specific scene. You'll have one of these for every scene. Here's, it is the one just called new scene, I believe. So let's, it is called new scene. So let's look for a new scene. I named mine so well. Alright, so 3 and 4 are the ones we want to mess with, window captures. So let's just make it the plus key for show and hide on both of these window captures, which will turn on both of them, or if only one of them is turned on, we'll switch between the two. So if we just press that button, it switches between two of them. So the moment we're out of the game, like this, we can press the button and it switches back over. So that's a cool little hotkey thing you can configure that keeps you from having to make two separate scenes. It is instant though, there's no fade, so if you're concerned about that, maybe make two scenes that are identical minus one detail. So yeah, that's another thing you can do that's good. But how do you make your channel fun to be at? Like, yeah, you're showing the gameplay, but how do you add that extra pizzazz? What I'm going to do now is exit out of that so I don't have to listen to that over and over again. Actually, let's just exit out of here because I'm done with that demonstration, and this will kind of chill here for a moment anyway. Alright, so those two are gone. They will stay there, but we're not going to mess with them right now. So if I look back at my notepad here, we're going to set up Twitch alerts. So go to this link here, and I, for the sake of showing you everything, have logged out. And I will connect with Twitch. It is this simple, and it just logs you in, assuming you're logged into a Twitch account. So what you want to do is go to Alert Box, and you go down over to, you're at Alert Box. You go to General Settings. You can adjust a lot of this stuff, but if you go to Follows, you can pick one of these. This is just how it'll appear. You can set your alert animation, fade in and fade out. You can set this nameplate. This variable right here, name, will be whoever followed you. I have mine set to noticed you because I'm a filthy weeb. I'm sorry. Image, this is just what appears. You can make it a GIF. That's what I did, or a GIF if you prefer that. Whatever your pronouns are. Sorry, that was a jerk thing to say. But yeah, that's the one I'm using at the moment. And you can give it your own custom sound file. I made mine about 8 seconds, and it fades out. You can set your volume, set the alert delay, so where if you want it to take longer after someone follows you, I don't know why you'd want that, but you can. You can change the font. You can change other variations. You can add more than one version of this so that if someone follows you and another person follows you, they'll get different stuff. Subscriptions are the same. I have one set up even though I don't. They're literally all the same. I don't have subs, obviously, because I'm not a sponsored Twitch channel. Donations are the same. I don't have them set up. Hosts, however, I have set up because, see this here? It's literally the same format, but with count for the amount of viewers. In bits, I have the same thing. It's just the same exact setup for everything. So let me go over here. I'll only show you how you add this. See this URL? You click that to show it, and you copy this alert box right here. You go back to OBS, and you add a, let's see, browser source. And you can name it whatever you want. Most people choose to name it alerts or something like that. That's what I did. And for URL, instead of OBS project, you just paste that link. And you can make it however big you want. I'm just going to make it 1,000 by 600. And this is my alert box. And I'm going to put it in the top left corner so it can kind of go over top the game a little bit. And actually, for the sake of GH looking good, I'm going to make it, let's go 800 by 500. And now it's just kind of out of the way, and it's not going to be in the way of that. So now I can test it out. So look at my stream over here, and I can test follow. Oh my god. The reason you're hearing it twice is because I have two versions of OBS pulled up at the same time, and you heard it from two separate OBSs. But you will only hear it once, I promise. Same thing with hosting. You'll hear it twice again. I'm sorry for the loop. Once again, See how I'm covering it up a little bit here? You might want to lower the font size. That's another thing you can do inside of here. You just go down to font settings and you can change the font size. My other one is set up to where that doesn't happen because I have mine set up differently. This would benefit more from this right here than this, but once again, all my settings work really well and I don't want to mess them up on my other setup. But yeah, fool around with that, play with it. You can test all of these bits. See? You can test that. None of this stuff is going to be a big deal. And this right here, bits, I think they have a text-to-speech option you can do. I don't know if that's something that it does automatically or not. I don't know. I've never done it myself, and I never get bits, so yeah. So that's the thing. The second thing you want to do is make a chat box. You want your chat to show up on screen. So you go to this chat box down here. And I'll make this full screen again so you don't have to see my ugly mug. And here you can just change the theme. There's like a custom CSS if you want to make it crazy. Clean is just the standard. Boxed looks like that. Twitch looks like original Twitch chat. Old school. Yeah. He's checking if they're Asian. What? Okay. And there's Chunky. I use clean. And you can adjust the amount of time it's on screen, a bunch of other stuff. You can hide common chat bots, hide other stuff. You can do all sorts of crazy stuff. So basically what you want to do now is copy that. Copy this box the same as previous. You want to do literally the exact same process here. And I'll rename this first one alert. And I didn't say alerts because it would contradict the other one. Make it a little harder. Yeah, browser source 1, we'll name it It's the Chat, and I'm only making these names weird so that it doesn't contradict my previous names. I usually make this width a little wider, so 1000, and the height a little lower, so let's call it 400. And we can just take that and put it in the bottom corner. And once again, we want these layers on top so that they always show up. And if I want to test this out, I can go to my Twitch channel. I'm hosting, so I've got to be careful, but I think if I just say hi, it won't be a big deal. See? It just shows up right down here. And then I have mine set for 30 seconds because I don't have a very active chat and I want it to show up for a while, so after 30 seconds, it'll eventually fade away. You can pick other font styles and other things, or you can make it have a slight shadow under it by adding just an image below it if you want. You can put it over top of something that'll make it pop if you feel like that's necessary. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do. With OBS, you can add images, you can add extra audio inputs, you can add, there's game capture, window capture. There's a bunch of cool stuff. Video sources will loop a video or a playlist of videos, and you can keep the volume on or off. There's cool stuff you can do with that. Like, if I look up here, I have the snow in the background, and this is weird because I have a desktop capture, but this snow in the background, that's just a VLC video. So I just have that playing. So basically, you can have all this stuff, the chat, the alerts, and you have those two windows that, once again, pressing plus on the keyboard will swap between them. It's not working at the moment, obviously, because GH isn't started. But yeah, that's a basic idea of how you do that. All right, the last thing I was going to show you, not go live, darn me, pimp out your channel. Cool. So now I'm going to show you some other things you might want to do. Here's my channel. Selfless plug. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But yeah, I have a nice theme that I've set up. I've made images. But down here, you want to put stuff down here. Because when people show up to your channel, they want it to look like a real channel. I'm hosting George at the moment, obviously. Hosting people is great because, like, if your channel is live hosting someone, that gives you a little more exposure. It doesn't seem like it would, but I honestly get way more people show up to my streams after I started doing that. I don't know if that's just confirmation bias or what, but yeah. So once again, just have an About Me section, chat rules, Twitter, YouTube, other links to other stuff, schedule if you have one, a bunch of other stuff. My Twitter links to my actual Twitter. Just stuff like that. You want to do that. There's not a lot I can tell you here other than make your images somewhat consistent and use the formatting tools available to you. Markdown right here, if you click here, you can just see how Markdown works and how you want stuff to work. But yeah. And the last thing you want to do is go to your Twitch dashboard, which is just your URL plus the word dashboard. and learn to like see your stream health down here and just set your game and everything, and post when you have a title change here, post that to here and set it to post to Twitter so people see it and they can see it in your timeline of posts that you did. Like right here, I have a bunch of other stuff. You can see a preview down here that I usually leave muted. You can see your chat. You can do pop-out chat. Another cool thing that I want to show you guys how to do, and this isn't on my list, but I will add it to my list when I post it, is I have this software here called Always on Top, and I just run it. Oh, there's already in this instance running. So down here it's called Always on Top. So what you want to do is pop out the chat, and when it's here, you hit Control Space while the software is running, and now no matter what window is in focus, that's always on top. And this helps especially when you're playing Guitar Hero and want to read chat but don't want to look over to another monitor, or if you don't even have another monitor, you have that issue solved. You can now see. So now if I just start up GH. Alright, administrator permissions, so it went dark. Alright, so I'm starting the game up. And once again, I'll actually get OBS working here, so you can see it. I'll kind of awkwardly move it to the side so it's kind of visible. We'll skip past the menus. I don't even know how to play with keyboard, to be honest, but I will attempt to for the sake of the meme. I'll just throw it on hard for fun. And what you want to do is you want to pause it whenever the thing comes up. And you don't need to read too much of the chat, so you can always just do what I do. Is you don't even need to cover up your star power. You can just put it about up here and like move it up like that. And you can read most of the chat, and you can slowly adjust it based on where the star power is. And now I'm sitting here and I'm playing, and I can see the chat. I don't know what the buttons are, to be honest. I'd never played with keyboard. But yeah, so you can see your chat while you play and react to it, and it will be on screen for them as well because of the thing you added earlier. And once again, if I'm over here and I hit plus, my hotkey's not working for some reason. It likes to be silly sometimes, but you can always reach over and manually do it if you absolutely have to. And half the time going to hotkeys and just reasserting these and hitting OK will make it work again. And I don't know why that is, but it does. But yeah, that's a basic idea, and I usually add some GIFs up here, some fun stuff. You can add text, like if you want some text that says like thing. This is a thing. And you can just take that text and make it as big as you want and throw it down here for fun. Like if you have a subscriber goal, or like a follow goal for the day or something, you can put that down there. There are other ways you can configure it to where you press a button, it adds to the number, but those are different tutorials for different days. But yeah, this is just a general idea of things you can do with your stream to make it better. I don't stream a lot, nor do I get a ton of viewers, so I can't really tell you how you should advertise your stream. So don't ask me for help there, because I don't know. But this is for sure how you can get your stream looking good. And if you devote some time to it, talk to the right people, are a generally entertaining person to talk to, stream in communities, etc., this can make it like you can do what you want to do here. This will hopefully clear up some of the confusion on how they do what they do. If you wanted an all-in-one tutorial, I hope this suits that. I hope this helps you out. But yeah. This is the part where I say that, hey, I helped you out with some stuff, right? If you were helped out, maybe you want to give back a little bit. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. To be honest, I don't post a lot of stuff to it, other than like tutorials and stuff, and that's mostly for the meme, or for just because someone asked for a tutorial. Like this was a requested tutorial. So that's not really a thing I'm too worried about. But if you want to go to my Twitch channel and give me a follow, that's awesome. If you want to go to my Twitter, give me a follow. Whatever you want to do, that's awesome. Just, well, let me know if you have issues in the comments. Find me on Twitter. I'm always willing to help. Assuming I'm not at work, I will help you. Even if I am at work, I'll wait till I get off and I'll help you. I always enjoy helping people out with things like this because usually whenever people have issues and something like that, You expect there to be a community to jump in to help them, but sometimes there just isn't, and people are kind of like, okay, so the GH community is really one of those things where everyone's assholes to each other, and it's funny, and everyone knows they're kidding. But to somebody who's not in the community yet, they're not like used to it, they're not, I hate to say hazed yet, they may not know that it's sarcastic yet, and they may not feel comfortable just being that chummy with someone out of nowhere. You know, like, you don't feel comfortable being that sarcastic to a stranger. So it's hard sometimes to get into that kind of thing, and I understand that. And I'm not really shitting on either side of the situation. I think it's kind of funny sometimes, but at the same time, I will be nice to you. I will not be silly and sarcastic. Just let me know, and I'll see what I can do from the technology point of view. If you want super expertise on Guitar Hero, I may not be the best person to talk to. If you want someone to tell you how to grow your channel bigger, I may not be the best person to talk to. But if you need help with technology stuff, I can for sure help you out. All right. That's probably going to be all for the video today. If you have extra questions on specific things that I didn't go into in the video, let me know in the comments. Let me know on Twitter, etc. I will help you out. Besides that, I got nothing else for you. Other tutorials, send me requests, stuff like that. Show up in my stream, say hi. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye.